Once upon a time, in a small village in Nigeria, there lived a young girl named Adaa. Adaa was a kind and beautiful girl who loved to help her mother, Mama Adaa, around their small mud house. Although they didn't have much, Adaa was happy because she spent her days helping others and playing with her friends. Mama Adaa, however, was always worried about money. She thought that if they had more money, they could live in a big house and have nice things. One day, Mama Adaa came up with a plan that made Adaa very uncomfortable. "Mama, I don't understand," Adaa said, her voice shaking a little. "Why do you want me to be friends with these rich men? You are old enough to be my father." Mama Adaa looked at her daughter with stern eyes. "Adaa, these men can give us money. They can make our lives easier. Don't you want us to live in a big house? Don't you want to eat good food every day?" Adaa shook her head. "But Mama, that's not right. I want to earn our money well. I want to be proud of the way we live." Mama Adaa was angry. She couldn't believe that Adaa would turn down a chance to change her life. So in her anger, she decided to punish Adaa. She told Adaa that she could no longer go out to play with her friends and that she would have to do more chores around the house. Adaa was very sad and lonely. She missed her friends and didn't understand why her mother was so strict. She knew in her heart that what her mother wanted was wrong, but she also wanted to make her mother happy. As the days passed, Adaa worked hard at home, hoping that her mother would change her mind. She often sat at the window, looking out and wishing for better days. Little did she know, help was on the way in the most unexpected form. One sunny afternoon, as Adaa was sweeping the front yard, a kind old woman from the village walked by her house. She noticed Ada's sad face and stopped to talk. "What is troubling you, my child?" the old woman asked gently, leaning on her walking stick. Adaa sighed and shared her troubles with the old woman. She told her about her mother's demands and how unhappy she was. The old woman listened intently and nodded her head. "You are brave and wise, Adaa," she said, her eyes twinkling with kindness. "It's important to do what's right in your heart, even if it's difficult." The old woman then shared a secret with Adaa. There is an old tree at the edge of the village. It is said that if you tie a white ribbon around its trunk and make a wish for help, your wish will be heard by the spirits of the forest. Ada's eyes widened with hope. The next morning, before the sun rose, she sneaked out of the house with the white ribbon in her hand. She walked to the edge of the village and found the old tree. It was huge and looked as if it had been there for hundreds of years. Adaa tied the ribbon around the trunk and whispered her request for help. Just as she had finished her wish, she heard footsteps behind her. Adaa turned quickly, her heart pounding. There she stood. It was her best friend, Chidi, who had quietly followed her from the village. Chidi was worried about Adaa after seeing her so sad for so many days. "Adaa, why are you here so early? Is everything okay?" Chidi asked, his concern evident in his voice. Adaa smiled, relieved to see her friend. "I just made a wish for help at this old tree. The old woman in the village told me about it," she explained, hoping Chidi would understand. Chidi nodded. "That sounds like a wonderful idea. Maybe the spirits will help us find a way to make your mother understand how you feel," he said, his eyes full of hope. Together, they walked back to the village, talking about their plans and dreams. They decided to try to talk to some of the kinder, wiser elders in the village about Mama Ada's demands and Ada's feelings. They hoped the elders could give them advice on how to handle the situation. Later that day, Adaa and Chidi gathered their courage and approached the village elders who were sitting under the large baobab tree, sharing stories and wisdom as they often did. The elders listened intently to Ada's story, nodding and exchanging glances. One of the elders, a wise old man named Baba Tunde, spoke up. "It is not right to force someone to do things against their will, especially for material gain. We need to talk to your mother, Adaa, and help her see the harm in her ways." The elders agreed to help, and they planned to visit Mama Adaa the next day. Adaa felt a glimmer of hope, grateful for the support of her friends and elders. She knew it wouldn't be easy to change her mother's mind, but she felt stronger with the village behind her. That night, Adaa went to bed feeling a little lighter, imagining a future where she would be free to make her own choices. But the next morning would bring unexpected challenges that Adaa could never have foreseen. The next morning, the sun rose brightly over the village, casting a golden glow over the landscape. Adaa awoke hopeful, but as she prepared for the day, she noticed that her mother was unusually quiet. Mama Adaa avoided looking at her daughter and seemed deep in thought. After breakfast, Adaa heard the familiar voices of the village elders approaching her house. Her heart pounded with both nervousness and relief. The elders, led by Babatunde, greeted Mama Adaa warmly but with a serious tone. "Mama Adaa," Babatunde began, "we have come to talk about something important. It concerns Adaa and the future you want for her." Mama Adaa stiffened, sensing the purpose of their visit. "What about Adaa? She is my daughter, and I only want the best for her," she replied defensively. Babatunde nodded. "We understand, but forcing her to be with people she doesn't want to be with for money is not what is best. It's important to respect her wishes and let her grow into the person she is meant to be, not just someone who brings wealth." The other elders chimed in, sharing stories of their own experiences and the values they held dear, such as integrity and happiness, which they felt were more important than wealth. Mama Adaa listened, her face a mixture of emotions. It was clear that she was struggling with their words, but also reflecting on them. As the discussion continued, a commotion at the edge of the village caught everyone's attention. A group of villagers rushed towards them, talking loudly about a strange occurrence near the ancient tree, the same tree where Adaa had made her wish. Curious and worried, the elders, Mama Adaa and Adaa, accompanied by Chidi, hurried to the tree. When they arrived, they saw something incredible. The tree, which had always been leafless and seemed almost dead, now sprouted fresh green leaves, vibrant and full of life. The villagers were amazed and whispered of miracles and magic. Adaa felt a wave of wonder and hope. She glanced at her ribbon, still tied around the trunk, fluttering gently in the breeze. Babatunde looked at the tree and then at Adaa. "It seems the spirits of the forest have heard a sincere heart's plea," he said thoughtfully. "Perhaps this is a sign for all of us, especially for you, Mama Adaa." Mama Adaa looked at the tree, her eyes wide with realization and remorse. Seeing the miracle before her and hearing the heartfelt pleas of her daughter and the elders began to soften her heart. As the villagers began to discuss the miraculous tree, Adaa took her mother's hand and gently squeezed it, inviting her to open up to new possibilities and the true richness of life that doesn't come from money. As the day wore on, the spectacle of the tree attracted more and more villagers who marveled at the transformation. The sight of the once barren tree, now full of life, became a symbol of new beginnings, not only for the tree, but also for Adaa and her mother. Standing beside the miraculous tree, Mama Adaa turned to Adaa. Her eyes, once filled with harshness and frustration, now shimmered with tears of understanding and remorse. She took Ada's hands in hers, her voice soft and repentant. "Adaa, my daughter, I have been blind in my desires, pushing you down a path that was not right. Seeing this miracle and hearing the wisdom of our elders, I now realize that the true wealth is to have a kind, brave daughter like you. I'm sorry for the pain I've caused you," Mama Adaa said, her voice trembling. Adaa hugged her mother tightly, feeling a weight lift from her heart. "I forgive you, Mama. I just want us to be happy and at peace with ourselves," she whispered. From that day on, their relationship began to heal. Mama gave up her earlier plans and instead supported Ada's choices. Adaa continued to grow into a wise and respected young woman in the village, known for her kindness and strength of character. The village itself learned from the event, placing the values of integrity, respect and genuine happiness above material gain. The tree remained a living symbol in the village, reminding everyone of the day they witnessed a true miracle of change. The morale of the story of Adaa and her mother, teaches us that the truest form of wealth is not found in material things, but in love, respect, and understanding between people. It reminds us to cherish and support each other's true desires, and to seek happiness in ways that are honest and good. Yes, we have come to the end of another story. I hope you enjoy it. To support us, you can subscribe to the channel and like the video. Don't forget to share your opinion in the comments section. Thanks for watching.